Great to see you all here. Thank you so much for being part of the community. I'm really looking forward today in this live to explore stress and ways of calming the stress response. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you 3 essential questions that you can ask yourself that helps move your stress response from a place of reactivity to a place of more calm-centered clarity. And because I'm offering this live because I've had a lot of women asking me, like, what are the ways that we can calm stress? How can we stay grounded? And who agrees that being stressed is actually very uncomfortable. It can leave us in overwhelm, it can leave us in overthinking, looping, self-doubt, judgment, staying up at night, poor sleep. There's so many knock-on effects of having chronic stress. So in this video, I'll be exploring the 3 key questions you can ask. And also explaining a little bit about stress so you understand what is happening in your body and your nervous system so that you can start to take control and bring yourself back into a centered place of calm. So here we go. Stress, first of all, it's really important to know that our nervous system really only has 2 buttons or 2 sides. One is what I call, really simple, the red zone. Red zone is our alarm system. So when our alarm system goes off, our stress response is activated. Our muscles get tight, our heart rate goes up, our breath rate goes up. And so the typical things that can trigger our red zone stress response, for example, if I'm walking along the bush trail and I see a snake, I think I see a snake, the red zone is pressed. The important thing to know here is the red zone is activated in response to perceived threat. So I say that very carefully, perceived threat, because there may not actually be a threat there. It's a sign, it's a part of your nervous system really that's designed to keep us safe. You know, back in the caveman days, it was really important. I might have had a saber-toothed tiger running after me. My red zone would activate, my muscles would get tight, ready to run, my heart rate would go up, my breath rate would go up, and so these are all things designed to protect my life. And it's very rare, especially in the Western modern world, where we have saber-toothed tigers running after us. We don't. And yet our stress response still becomes activated when we perceive a threat. And so that threat perception could be, I've had a disagreement with a neighbour and now I'm judging them. Or it could be, I've got too many emails, or my boss is being pushy. Or it could be that I have had no sleep and my family life is chaotic. These are all different things now that compress our stress alarm system. So the alarm system goes off in response to perceived threat. Other things that can make it go off, uncertainty. When we're navigating periods of uncertainty, it's really common for the red zone to be activated. Our brains don't like uncertainty. When we have too many decisions to make, our red zone can be activated. So there's lots of different reasons that the red zone can light up. Now, the red zone's not a bad thing. If you see a toddler about to run toward a road, it's probably a good idea to get your muscles tight, to get ready to run, for your heart rate to be up. But here's the thing. If our red zone, our alarm system in our nervous system is lit up for chronic periods of time, then it starts to impact our health. Because what happens in our physiology is that, yes, our blood pressure and heart rate go up, our digestive system slows down, our immune system slows down, we don't sleep as well. Psychologically, we start to shut down or we become more reactive. We're kind of like, it's a you versus me idea in the psychology. So that's what happens when we press the red zone button. Now, the balancer of the red zone is the green zone. A bit like a seesaw, if the green zone's really strong, it can calm the red zone. And the green zone, I like to call it a bit like a garden. It's the sort of place that we need to nurture and to work on in order to make it healthy. Now, I go through lots of different ways of building the green zone garden to calm the nervous system within the Rise Up program. But just to know that the green zone is really a space where we are calm, where we can make clear decisions, where we can see all sides, where we can remain curious, where our heart rate slows down, our muscles soften, our digestion improves, and psychologically we start to work with people as a team. Let's work together on this. And so they're kind of 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. So that's to understand a little bit about stress, but the key here is understanding that the red zone really is a space that will light up in response to perceived threat. And because it's perceived, I believe that there are really great questions that we can ask to start questioning our perceptions. So I'm going to go through these 3 questions now. The first question is my stress response, heart rate going up, blood pressure going up, boxing gloves on, is my stress response benefiting me or anyone else? Now, I learnt this question the hard way back 20 years ago when I was working as a physiotherapist. I had back-to-back patients. I was always feeling like I was under the pump, running late, missing lunch. And if a patient started to run late, I started to get stressed because I'd be thinking, I don't know if I'm going to make it out the door in time. Am I even going to get home for dinner? And so my stress response on my red zone would go up, which meant I was more reactive, which meant I wasn't open to listening to a patient. Not a very good place for a therapist. And I started to realize that my response wasn't really helping, and I just got into the practice, is being stressed actually helpful? And the answer was no, it's not actually helpful. I've got too many emails. Is being stressed helpful? No. I have someone that's, grating me in my life or triggering me in life. Is being stressed helping? No. So the first question is my stress response actually helping? Now, if you're about to run after a kid running across the road, of course it's very helpful. If you see a saber-toothed tiger or a snake, it's probably a good idea to have the stress response going. But in day-to-day life, just asking yourself the question, is my stress response helpful right now? The answer will probably be no. If you're stuck in traffic, if you're going to be running late, is being stressed helpful? Probably not. You can't change it. So that's the first question. Question number 1, is my response benefiting me or anyone else at this moment in time? Question number 2, am I seeing all sides? Am I seeing all sides? Is this 100% bad? Now, very often when we're in the stress red zone, we don't see the big picture. We just see a short snapshot and we jump to conclusions. This is an all bad experience. I'm running late and I'm stuck in traffic and the cascade is going to be terrible. Now, when we ask the question, is this all bad? Is it going to be 100% bad? Am I seeing all sides? We can start to realize that, look, some situations aren't so bad necessarily. It'll unfold okay. And seeing all sides is also understanding all perspectives. So if, for example, you've had a conversation with someone that's triggered you and you start to feel your stress response rising, the question, am I seeing all sides, might be, am I really understanding their perspective? Do I understand some of the things that have led to them reaching that conclusion? Can I step out of judgment and just remain curious? And so what we know about the green zone, which is like the garden that calms the red zone down, that calm space, is that it's very closely linked to curiosity. And curiosity means staying out of judgment. I don't know what's going on for that person. I don't need to leap to conclusions and start going into an overthinking pattern into my red zone of stress and losing sleep over this. I can just allow myself to say, look, I don't understand. There may be something else going on. Am I seeing all sides? So curiosity is an important part that helps build the green zone and calms us down. So first question, is my stress response benefiting me or anyone else right now? The answer is probably no most of the time. We can take a breath. Question number 2, am I seeing all sides? When I'm not seeing all sides and I fall into judgment, I become polarized. I'm on an emotional seesaw and I start to get stressed and overthink. When I'm curious and say, oh, I don't understand necessarily all sides. Maybe I'm not seeing the big picture. Maybe I don't understand their perspective. Am I actually seeing all sides? We start to bring ourselves into the green zone and to calm down without falling into judgment. So that's the second question. Third question to ask that I think is really important is, what's my second response? What's my second response? My first response is nearly always a reaction. Something happens, I react. And that reaction is the red zone that goes very quickly into, well, this is probably going to be a threat. I'm going to react, so I protect you. And the reaction could be, I'm going to snap at somebody, or I'm going to get overwhelmed easily, or I'm going to loop into overthinking. And sometimes these reactions actually don't help us at all. So remembering to simply ask, okay, what's my second response? My first response is reaction. My second response comes from a place of pause and calm. The green zone in our nervous system takes a little bit longer to come online. It takes a little bit longer to see all sides. And that's not a bad thing. It just takes in the bigger picture, which means your second response is normally from a space of clarity and normally from a space of seeing the whole picture rather than jumping to a conclusion. So 3 questions to ask. Is my response benefiting me or anyone else right now? Probably not. Am I seeing all sides? Can I just remain curious and maybe understand that somebody else has a different perspective for whatever reason that I might not see or understand just yet? So am I seeing all sides? And third question, what's my second response? Which gives you a chance just to pause and take a breath. What's my second response? Which means you come from a place of calm. Now, these 3 questions are essential. There are other ways to calm the stress response. We can calm the stress response through the breath. We can calm the stress response through the body. We can calm the nervous system in multiple ways. But these 3 ways are addressing your perceptions. Is this actually a threat? Is being stressed helpful? Am I really seeing the big picture or all sides? What's my second response? It starts to calm the perception of threat, because there is not a saber-toothed tiger running after you, I'm pretty sure. So I hope this has been helpful to start calming down the nervous system and bringing in that sense of reducing the red zone and coming more into a space of curiosity, more into a space of calm decision making, which means you can lead yourself, lead your family, lead your team in a more responsive way rather than a space of kind of overwhelm or reactivity. So they are the 3 questions that I habitually ask myself when I find myself in the stress zone. And yes, I do find myself there. It's not unusual. We all find ourselves there. We're human beings, but learning to calm this and navigate this is super important to be able to make sure that we can think clearly and still lead with an open heart.